Hi everyone, and welcome to this second presentation that goes with Module 3 in Week 5. So just a little talk, an overview about the two concepts of paraphrasing and direct quotations. And so this presentation goes with pages 106 through to 109 in your study guide, and then there'll be further supplementary material that you'll keep referring to in the Harvard referencing guide. So let's have a quick look. So the first main concept is this idea of paraphrasing. So the study guide defines paraphrasing as putting someone else's words into words of your own while keeping the original meaning. And that's on page 106. And as the study guide puts out, we do this all the time when we retell a story or we tell a joke but with slightly different words. Here we're going to learn how to paraphrase the writing and research that we're reading for our academic work and put it into our own words rather than always directly quoting from the original text. So there's a few different skills that we can use or techniques that we can use to paraphrase. So we can use synonyms and antonyms to change some of the words, and there's examples of how to do that in the study guide. We can change the syntax of what we are reading, and that means we change the order of the words or the sentence structure around. We can combine or unpack words, and there's some good examples about that on page 107. We can change the form of the word, so we can change from past or present tense, or we can change from a verb to a noun as long as the meaning remains intact. And we can also start to use cohesive ties and different types of sentences, which is something that you've looked at in previous modules. So the most important thing to remember is that even though we've not used the exact words from what we've been reading, because we've paraphrased and the meaning or idea stays the same, we still need to use an in-text citation so the reader can see who the idea originally belonged to. And that's something that you will be learning very, very shortly when we delve into Harvard referencing. So the same principle applies when you're using a direct quote. So we can use the ideas and writing of other people from articles and other research, but here when we use a direct quote we don't change any of the words, and if we do that we must use quotation marks around the words that we've taken from the original piece, and the direct quote must also be followed by an in-text reference. And you've seen examples of this happening in some of the model paragraphs in the study guide. Now you're going to start doing it for yourself. So probably the final question, how does this connect to the active reading and the note-taking that are the other important concepts in this module? So as you're reading and as you're taking notes, make sure you also always write down the details of the material that you're using, and you need the details that you're going to use when you reference any paraphrasing or direct quotations. So the Harvard referencing guide gives you specifics on this, but basically you must always note down the author, the date the piece was written, and the page number that you've taken your information from, and you'll also need the title of the book for your reference list and other things. So the first port of call for you should be to complete activity 3-2 in the study guide, which is on page 109, and then we will keep developing these skills as we continue through this module.